Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with fabulous concert programs. Number 28? Is that what we're really up to? Whoa! Okay, we've basically got a season there, don't we? Actually, probably more than a season. Certainly more than any one conductor does anything anymore. They do, 16 weeks or something ridiculous like that? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. They ought to take a leg shackle and chain them to the podium for the entire season with their orchestras and leave them there. Well, until the orchestra kills them, Anyway, what are we on? What are we doing? We're doing Roussel symphonies. And we're at the last of them, the Fourth Symphony. And this is a program, I like this program particularly because it's got 5 works. 5 works. Sorry about that. 5 works, yeah. And it's really kind of cool. I have no idea why this works as well as it does. All I know is that it does. And I guess maybe because everything has a little bit of a slightly neoclassical cast. I don't know. It's a real hodgepodge, this program. But now let's go through it and we'll see if it works the way I think it should. First, we begin with Mendelssohn, the Hebrides, Fingal's Cave. I mean, we all love it, don't we? What a great concert opener it is. And I think perhaps one of the things I like so much about it is not just that it was used in Warner Brothers cartoons. Do 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 do. Ya da 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 dum bum. I mean, it never gets out of your head, does it? But it has this wonderful depth and lightness and colorful panoramic, but it's done with such economy of means. And that's something that Mendelssohn shares with Roussel. And I'm not saying that just to be facetious. It's really true, especially with respect to Roussel's Fourth Symphony, which comes next, before the intermission. And the reason it comes next is because it's a very compact piece. Roussel, late Roussel, he just got shorter and shorter. There's not a note out of place. He's very austere. It's all just about rhythm and tangy harmony and formal proportion. It's expressive, yes, but like Mendelssohn, it just has that formal perfection and balance about it. And I think that somehow the two go together. That's all I can tell you. I tried a lot of different things to try and figure what I was going to do with the Fourth Symphony. And this seems to work very well because of their similar aesthetic kind of perspective on how every bit of the work has to be exactly where it ought to be. And that's certainly true of this symphony. And, it's one of those symphonies that really leaves you wanting more. When it's over, the very end is crash, it's done. And you say to yourself, oh, that's it? You kind of wish it would go on. I do anyway. Really fascinating. So there you go. That's a really perky first half, and one that I think will leave the audience wanting to come back to hear the rest of the program. So, sometimes it's good to feel people get a little bit shortchanged, at the beginning, because the second half is sort of abundant, just the list of 3 things. But the 3 things are rather, I think, carefully chosen. First, the Weber Konzertstück for piano and orchestra. Now, this is only about 16 or 17 minutes long. You can get a really good orchestral pianist to do it if you don't have a big deal soloist. There aren't that many big deal soloists who even play it. Alfred Brendel would play it. He would show up and do it. But, it's not a end of the first half, bring them to their feet kind of work. It's just a wonderful piece. And the finale is exciting, and it's programmatic. It's about a chatelaine who's waiting for her lover to come home from war, and she thinks he's dead, and she passes out, then he shows up, then they celebrate. That's the program. And it only takes, like I said, 15 or 16 minutes. And it's one of the very few sort of romantic short piano pieces that survives barely in the repertoire because it's not concerto length. So, what are you going to do? I suppose you could do like a Mendelssohn piano concerto on either side. Actually, they kind of go well together. They've been coupled that way on recordings because the Mendelssohn concerto, the first one anyway, is also only 20 minutes long. But no, I want to do the Weber because after that, I want to do the Weber Turandot Overture, which is only like 6 minutes long. It's very, very short. And then the Hindemith Symphonic Metamorphosis of Themes by Weber, which is a slam-banging, fabulous concert ending. I mean, it just brings them to their feet. That final march. Da, 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 da. Yump, bump, da, 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 dum. And yes, they're on their feet. It's fabulous. But as we know, the second movement of that Hindemith, based on music by Weber, is the Turandot Scherzo, based on the same tune as in the Turandot Overture. Although, very interestingly, Hindemith makes it sound even more Chinese than it ever does for Weber, because Weber harmonizes it in a perfectly romantic, normal way, and Hindemith doesn't. Hindemith makes it sound more exotic. But then you've got the central fugato, which is a jazz transformation of the original tune. It's so much fun. Hindemith really did have a sense of humor, believe it or not. I mean, it was a German sense of humor. It was kind of clunky and whatnot, but it was a sense of humor. And it's just a great piece to end the program with. So you've got Mendelssohn and Roussel and Weber, and then Hindemith's modern reworking of Weber, just in a sense, the way Roussel's Fourth is a conceptual brother or relative to the Mendelssohn aesthetically. I mean, I don't know. It just works. Trust me when I tell you. Play it at home. You'll see what I mean. It makes for a very, very rewarding, an hour and a bit of music, hour and a half, say, of music all told. And I can't imagine people not enjoying it. And if you can get a named soloist to do the Weber, all the better. One who doesn't insist on taking a bow, at the end of something. That would really be great. But if they do, I mean, you could do Weber, Hindemith, and then Weber again with the soloist. I mean, that would work. It would work, actually. But I think the Hindemith has the much more satisfying ending to the concert. So, I mean, that's why I wanted to do it that way. And that's the end of our Roussel Symphony Cycle. There were only 4. So stay tuned. We've got some really nifty stuff coming up next. I guarantee it. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.